Okay, we can go ahead and get started. Ow, I just kicked this thing. We can go ahead and get started because I know this is the middle of the day for a lot of you guys. I wanted to, normally I do it. Oh, good, someone has their book, Erin. And a dog. So normally I like to do these calls after work-ish. I'm West Coast, I'm in Oregon, so it's noon here. And but since there's so many people that are in the UK that also wanted to join, I had to do it at noon. So thanks for hopping on. It looks like I see someone. Who is that? Chelsea at work. Oh yeah, Kristen's at work. There's a few of you. Britt's at work. So thank you guys for hopping on. I just had this idea to do a self-love book club because, and some of you guys I know are in the boot camps that I run. And so you know that I focus so much of my energy on the mental component because we so often think, shoot, am I not? Yeah, I'm recording. Okay, good. We so often think that that our results in our journey is physical, but really our mind is what controls everything in life. It's the most powerful thing that we own. And the thing that has changed my life more than anything is personal development. So I have personal development books all over my house, but when things get rough or life gets busy, oftentimes it is the first thing that comes off my plate. And then if I go a few days without it, I will feel a difference and I'll be like, what's going on? I'm in a funk or I just don't feel like motivated. And then I have to take an inventory and I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't been doing my personal development. In the same way, and those of you that are in my boot camp, we're moving, that's why this mattress is here. In the same way that, well, I really just jumped in, but I didn't introduce myself. I'm Ashley Molstead, Food Your Girl Fitness. Hi guys. I just assume that if you're here, you know who I am. But apparently, like, that's a rule. You should always introduce yourself. But whatever. So I'm Ashley. Hi. So in the same way that like exercise is fitness for your body and keeps your body in shape, personal development I look at as fitness for your mind and it keeps your mind in shape. And since it's the most powerful thing we own and controls everything, like it really doesn't matter what size you are. It's your brain that's telling you your size isn't, you're not small enough, you're not fit enough, you don't look good. And like, it's not your body that is sending any of those messages, it's your brain. And it's also your brain that's telling you you're not successful enough and you're not good enough and there's no way you could do that. Like it's all your brain. And so, and I know I get questions all the time about personal development books to recommend. So I just figured this would be a way for us to kind of connect and do a virtual book club. I have never done this before, so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm super open to suggestions. And this is the Zoom, this is the webinar service that I used to run like my team calls and my weekly boot camp calls. So if you want to, you can unmute yourself and say something, or you can click on the chat button and type a chat in if you have any ideas. But what I'm thinking is this will be the kickoff call, and then the first Thursday of every month, we will do like our recap call. And I've divided out, so our first book, I think you guys all know, is The Goddess Revolution by Mel Wells. And one really rad thing is Mel saw that I was starting this book club and posting about it, and she reached out to me and said, I'd love to come on in your book club and like do an interview or do something for you guys. So I'm trying to work out, I think she might be from London or I think I saw that she was from Europe somewhere. I don't know where I saw that, but I feel like maybe I saw her speak and she has an accent. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm trying to work out timing on that, but it would be really rad to have her come on and kind of share why she wrote the book and some messages behind it. But this is the book. I have heard people have downloaded it on Audible, and I normally listen to my personal development when I'm out. My favorite way to consume personal development is when I'm walking the dogs, because I just like being out in nature, like in fresh air, and feeding my brain while getting them exercise, or well, I guess just Roka now getting her exercise. So, but also like personal development, if you just do 10 minutes a day, you will be able to get through this book in a month. And when I used to work full-time and I did this at-home coaching business, I got my personal development in when I would drive. So I stopped listening to the radio. I don't ever know what hit songs are anymore, hardly, unless it involves Taylor Swift or Beyonce, but she hasn't come out with a lot recently. So I don't know hit songs. I don't know lyrics to things because I just listen to personal development now in the car. Because once you start doing this, your brain starts to crave it in the same way that, like, if you're not used to working out and then you start working out, your body craves endorphins, your brain will start to crave personal development. So I love listening to personal development. So I used to listen to it on my commute to and from work. I listened to it in the morning. So my routine was always when I used to work full time, I would wake up and work out, and I listen to music during my workout because I've found some people listen to personal development during their workout, but I don't retain anything that way because I'm focused on like how bad my muscles are hurting and like swearing at the trainer and stuff. So I listen to music during that, but then when I was getting ready, like in the shower or, putting my makeup on, doing my hair, making breakfast, there's times where I would put my earbuds in, like if I was vacuuming or doing dishes, cooking, like whenever I can, I would get personal development in. So the cool thing is there's 264 pages in this book, which breaks down to 9.1 pages a day. So I figure if we read 10 pages a day, which is what I say to anyone, 10 minutes or 10 pages, and that's what I started. When I first started doing personal, I now get in at least an hour a day minimum. But when I first started, I didn't want to do it. I just knew that I should do it. And I didn't have that much time to commit to doing it. So I only committed to 10 minutes a day. And that alone will change your life. So, but what I will say is that's every single day from now until our next call will be November 2nd. So there's going to be, every single day you'll read or listen, but there's going to be some days where you're not going to read and listen because you're busy and things are happening and whatever. So what I plan on doing is just reading as much as I can every day. And then if I get done with the book early, that's fine. Obviously nothing bad's going to come from that. And then this pregnancy brain is going to be the death of me. I don't remember what I was saying. It's so weird how that happens. Like mid-sentence, I forget what I was saying. But so anyway, I plan to read 10 pages at least of this a day. And like today I'll probably sit down because this week I need personal development more than most weeks with Brewer's passing. And so I'll probably read this for like 30 minutes today. And then I know that there'll be some days where I'm, not going to. But as you go through, that's one thing that I like about this versus listening to it is I go through and I highlight things. Like you guys, my favorite book, and you've probably, if you followed me for any period of time, you've heard me talk about this, You Are a Badass. You can see how much it's dog-eared and like I have so many things highlighted and underlined in this book because that's how I consume this kind of material. Think anything that resonates with you, makes you think a little bit differently, has kind of a light bulb go off in your brain, anything like that. I want you guys to highlight it and bring some of those things next month, November 2nd, on our next call. Bring some, and there's probably, like I said, going to be a call in between now and then with Mel, but I'll keep you posted on that. But when we do our recap call, bring some of those things because I'd like to talk about like some of our biggest takeaways and some of our biggest light bulb moments and anything that you feel like maybe changed your thinking for the day or just your thought pattern for that moment or just kind of like woke you up. So I plan on doing that. I've heard that I love when authors narrate books themselves. So on Audible, if you guys get it on Audible, Mel is the one that actually reads the book. And I've heard it's like super fast and you'll go through it super quick. And there's like, I've looked through, so I haven't read anything yet, but lots of the pages aren't like full pages. So I feel like that should be no problem to get through this in a month. But if you don't read through or listen to the whole thing this month, then still show up for the next call. You don't, like any book club, you don't have to have gotten through the whole thing. That's the goal, but you don't have to have gone through the whole thing. Still show up. I think you'll still get value out of our conversation. And I think that's all that I wanted to kind of recap and kick off today. I'm just really excited for us because I feel like, so I've been reading a book. What is that one called? By Gala Darling. What is that book called? I don't know. Oh yeah, someone's going to type it for me, Christina. I think you're going to type it because I don't remember what that book's called, but it's downstairs. But I've been reading it for 2 months because I get just super distracted. And so this is going to be, you guys are going to help me as much. Radical self-love. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, thank you. So you guys are going to help me stay accountable, to my mental goals as much as I'm going to help you guys. And I'm just going to go through some of this chat here and see if you guys have any questions, or also I don't know where you saw this link, if it was in the event, but I set up a private page as well, a group that's listed in our event page. So join that group because we can be chatting kind of all month long and maybe posting quotes in there, things that we loved, daily. Also picking our next book maybe before our next call so that we have that ready to go. But let me go through some of these if there's any questions. Okay. She sounds British in the audiobook, from Karen says. Okay, yeah. So I think she's London or UK, so I don't know, somewhere in the UK. So I got to figure out timing and coordinating with her. But she emailed me and sent me a message on Facebook, so I know she's into it, which is great. I love when authors are just selfless with their time. Okay, so Danielle asked, what podcast do you listen to for personal development? Let me pull it up. I've gone through phases of ones that I like. The very first one I feel like that I listened to was This Is Your Life with Michael Hyatt. It was really good. I kind of have fallen out of that. Then I fell head over heels in love with The School of Greatness with Lewis Howes. That one's really great. I haven't listened as much to that lately. Chalene Johnson has a really great podcast. Women Wanting More is a good one. I've been listening more to like business development ones lately since I'm an entrepreneur. So, The Charged Life with Brendan Burchard is a good one. But I've been listening to, so basically I just listen to whatever it is that I'm needing at the moment. So, my favorite right now is Gary Vee. But he's more business focused or just about getting shit done in your life. So you don't necessarily have to be an entrepreneur, but he's a tough love kind of guy, which is cool because I'm a tough love kind of girl. So I dig the way that he shares his message, but, he's my favorite, but he's, not like, he's very focused in his lane. So you can check that out. But sometimes when I need more personal development or when I need more self-love stuff, I've found Fearless Rebel Radio with Summer Inanen. That's about body image stuff. The Reclaiming You podcast with Sarah Vance is great. I looked up a podcast on grief yesterday and found a couple podcasts on dealing with grief. I'm sure you guys know Brewer died on Tuesday. So I feel better today. It's the first time I think I've been able to say it without actually crying. I feel a little choked up talking about it, but if John and I are fighting or we're in, relationships can be hard, so ebbs and flows. And so when we're struggling, I looked up a podcast and I started listening to the Love and Respect podcast. So really, like, whatever it is that's going on in your life, I usually search that term, whatever it is that I'm struggling with, like self-love, relationship advice, grief counseling, like whatever. And if you just get the podcast app and then go to the search feature, you can find all kinds of amazing things in here. So Oprah came out with a new podcast recently, and it's called Oprah's Super Soul Conversations. It's amazing. The Life Coach School podcast with Brooke Castillo I just found, and she's amazing. So I really, I could go on and on. I have 30 that I'm subscribed to, but it really just depends what I need in that moment. And if I don't need anything and I'm feeling great, then usually it's a business podcast. It's usually Gary Vee is what I turn to. So those are some of my podcasts. Okay, let me just see any other questions. Who's the Love and Respect guy? So I will warn you, because I know not everybody that follows me is religious. Since I'm not religious, I'm super, super spiritual. But I'm not religious. I'm not sure. I don't think I believe in God. I'm not sure. I definitely believe in a higher power. And if I talk about that the universe has my back and someone comments on one of my, on that and says, it's not the universe, it's God, and then quotes a Bible verse, then I block that person because I feel like there is room for you to believe whatever you need to believe. So if you believe strongly in God and Jesus, I am down with that. I believe strongly in the universe, not so much in God and Jesus, but I definitely believe in a higher power. And I just think we are allowed to think like, one of my favorite quotes, I'll probably botch it, but it's something like the number one commandment of any truly civilized society is let people be different. Like we are all allowed to just believe and love and care about what we believe, love, and care about without having to shove our agendas or beliefs, loves, and, things that we care about down other people's throats. So the fastest way to get blocked on my page is to, one, be an asshole, or two, to try to like shove your religious beliefs on me because it just pisses me off. So anyway, back to answering who does the Love and Respect podcast. It is a religious podcast. So he does quote Bible verses a lot. He does talk about Jesus Christ and God and whatever. I still get great messages from it. So I just listen, I just listen through it, and that part doesn't resonate with me, but it's, let me look. The Love and Respect podcast, relationships with, it doesn't say who it is with. I'll show you if you guys can see that. It's the pastor and his son. And his son is like a psychologist. So he's a little bit more sciencey. And then the dad is a pastor or priest or whatever the term is. So, yes, Meredith, it is a church. It is a church thing. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, good. So everybody is saying the same thing. Yeah. But I just feel like it's just the concept, you guys, behind Love and Respect is that, and this is kind of like going off on a tangent, but that men or women want to feel loved. And if they don't feel loved, then they treat men disrespectful. And men just want to be respected. And if they feel disrespected, then they treat the woman unloving. And then she feels unloved, so she treats him disrespectful, and he feels disrespected. So it's this cycle of getting into this, like, I don't feel what I need to feel from you, so then I treat you the way that you don't want to feel, and then I keep, So anyway, it's super eye-opening, and it's very helpful for me, even with all the Bible verses and things like that. You can still get a lot out of it, so, yeah. All right, what other questions or thoughts do you guys have about how we should run the next session? My thought is just that you go through the book and highlight, or if you're on Audible, there is a way to bookmark things on Audible, and you can make little notes with that if as you're listening, she says something that resonates with you. There's a way to bookmark it, but sharing those things and coming maybe with our top 5 takeaways or top 5 quotes or something like that from the book next month that we can kind of talk through. But that's my plan. But anything else? I've been a part of a book club before, but we didn't really have like, yeah, good, Erin. We didn't really have like a set way to facilitate it, so I don't know exactly how book clubs run. It was mostly like, honestly, our book club was kind of like a wine club social hour that we read books, but like didn't always read the books, So, okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys. I did record this, so I will post it if you have any friends or family. Like, it's open to anybody. I know there's been I'm a Beachbody coach. There's been Beachbody coaches that are like, can I do this from a coach? Yeah, I mean, it's just whatever. It's just a group of us getting together, working on learning to love ourselves more, because I think that is what this world needs, is people that love themselves more. It does not need people who are more successful or who are making more money or who are thinner or whatever. Like, the world needs people who love themselves more, because if you love yourself, then all of your acts towards other people and out into the world are done with love. I noticed, like, when I was the most insecure and kind of before I realized that my insecurity was kind of depression, that was when I was also the meanest to other people, and in my head I was the most judgmental. And that's generally what I find is people who, usually the people that are assholes to me that get blocked on my page, they're the ones that are the most deeply hurt and wounded, because secure and stable and happy people that love themselves don't need to bring other people down. But I, when I was really insecure and really struggling, that's what I needed to do. If I saw someone that looked like she had all her shit together, she was beautiful and her marriage was perfect and her job was great and super chipper and everyone loved her, I had to find something to bring her, like just in my head, to judge her on or be mean to her about and make fun of. Like I had to, because I needed to bring her down since I was so insecure with myself. So that, I think, is what this world needs, is people that love themselves more and are more comfortable with who they are, because we just show up as better humans in the world. So I'm very excited to do this with you guys. I will post the recording so you can share the group with whoever you want to. The line max is out at 400, but we only had 62 today, so I'm not super worried about that, and we'll figure out a different way if we do reach those numbers. But let's also just be posting in the group as we read this book. You don't have to post every day, whatever. But just if you're like, gosh, this really resonated with something, really resonated with me today, or it's a new concept that whatever, let's be posting and sharing all month and talking about it. Do you plan to have a kind of introduction to each other, such as introducing ourselves? Yeah, I think that would be great if it doesn't get too large, because I don't want to be the only one talking. I hear myself talk and think my thoughts all day long. So I was also thinking that I could pick different facilitators, or maybe like 5 people that want to volunteer to facilitate different calls every, something like that. I'm not sure. I do think introductions would be great. We can introduce ourselves. I can also start an introduction post in our group to say, where are you from? And what are you wanting maybe to get out of this or something like that? Or what are some of your favorite books or whatever? I don't know. I can start an introduction post. But I do think that if I opened it up on these kind of calls for people to talk, we'd be here for days, because it's hard. And also not everyone would want to be on camera talking about themselves. But I'll start an introduction post in that group so that we can know where we're all from and a little bit about us. And maybe I will ask you guys too to share a picture of your family or your best, like if you're, if you're single and don't have any kids or anything, or animals, you and your best friend, like doing, what is it that you love? Like share a picture that brings you joy, maybe. So I'll do that so that we can kind of like get a visual with who we all are. But I think that's a great idea, Holly. So thanks for bringing that up. All right, guys, have an awesome Thursday. This week is like, I don't know what days of the week it is anymore, but I love you guys. Thanks for joining. I'm excited to connect with you all month over this book, and I'll keep you posted on when Mel can do a call for us as well. Bye.